have respect for everybody that I'm on this show with. I really do. But I have boundaries, and Shannon crossed some boundaries with me this season. And it's tough because although I think we tried to work through them and we still do, I'm still a little upset.
So many new things since we last saw you on our TVs, Gina. You also look amazing this season.
Thank you. You know, I think that obviously I had a theme where, and it's just kind of like the vibe of my life. Like I wear it on the outside when I'm going through on the inside. I'm not that person who can keep it all together. And so now I just think my outward, you know, look and appearance is indicative of like what's going on with me internally, and it's all good. Thank God.
I love to hear that. We love to see you happy. We got to talk about season 17 of The Real Housewives of Orange County. The ladies are back. And my first question is, were you dodging Heather? Was this a real thing?
Okay, so oh my gosh, I can't go backwards with Heather, first of all, but I mean, to a certain extent, yes. I think that, and it's nothing against Heather. It's just, you know, sometimes when we wrap like a season or filming too, like I need a little bit of decompression. I need some space. And you know, sometimes it's like Heather's so nice and she loves to include me and invite me to things. And so I instinctively sometimes just be like, yes, thank you, I'll come to that. And then, you know, I'm like more real. So when push comes to shove, it's like, I just don't really feel like going to that. I also really had a lot. And I know it was like done in a way where I was like, excuse, but I did have a lot.
So Bravo edited that. That's so funny. I was cracking up.
Yeah, but I think I was put on the spot too. And I was surprised by it. But you know, I had a lot going on. It was summer break. I'm really a mom. I have a lot of kids and we have different lifestyles and different, but Heather's busy too, you know, so it is what it is. I can't, you know, I mean, also it's like, thanks a lot, Heather. You started the season just chucking me under the bus here, but I do actually love her, and I love her enough that she actually, I think she, like, I really did like hurt her feelings there, you know, and I think she wondered why, because I didn't even know that was the way. And then she brought it up to Emily. And then I was like, oh, I think I'm in trouble here. And I did feel bad. And I don't think, I just should have given her a little more attention. There were a couple texts, you know, that got a little buried, and I did bail on like a lunch. So I get it, but.
Okay. Well, listen, I feel like Heather she does say to Terry at one point, Terry's like, maybe it's because we're so fancy, people don't always want to hang out with us. And I was
he said the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I would I feel like I'm letting her off the hook. I'm like, do you really want to come to like my things that are not, you know, and the thing is, this is what I want to be clear about, because I don't want to offend her, because I do care about her, and Heather's a good person, right? So the bottom line is, if I invited Heather to something, I think she would come because she is a good friend. But I don't invite her to everything because there's certain things that I just know she would rather maybe not be
right.
at.
I get that. I get that.
That's okay. Like, and maybe she's going to invite me to some of her schmancy stuff. And honestly, I don't really want to be at all that stuff either. So I think what we're
trying in the middle.
Yeah. Like we actually have a good, I do consider her a friend and I do care about her.
Right.
I think we're working on being okay with being who we are and having differences, and that being okay.
Yeah, I hear that. You share this season that you are California sober. So that's great. I love to see this, and I'm trying to cut back on myself. I think everyone is this summer. But so what will we see you like drinking this season, or how do you think this affects your character, yourself this season?
No, you will not. I have not had a drink in a year and a half. So
wow, congratulations. That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's just kind of like over for me. I feel like, and I'm fine with it. I don't identify like as an alcoholic. It was something that wasn't serving me well, and I don't need it. And now I'm past that like point of even just like, oh, I would love a drink. Like I'm over it. So I don't want to go backwards. That's really what it is. but it does affect me because it affects me as a person. It was very different doing this, season sober and having to feel my feelings. And honestly, the season helped me identify the fact that I didn't even realize that there was some stuff still stuck in there, that I thought I had processed everything from my past and I was in control of it. And this was a learning lesson for me, that it's okay that just because you move past it and you're in a positive space, that doesn't mean that you have to pretend like you're fully healed. And it was really nice because when things came up organically, there were some other people on the show that their situations were kind of triggering for me. Right. And it just was all real and natural. And although it's going to be like probably hard to watch, I actually think it ends up being a good thing, which is always how I feel about the show.
Right.
Because I have an opportunity to look at something, identify it, process it. And I honestly feel like I had personal growth from it. I feel better because it forced me to look at things that I wasn't actively pretending, but now I think I realize I was trying to pretend like I was past stuff. So
yeah, I get that. We see some new additions or some old additions coming back, like Tamra, not old in a bad way. If she sees that, she's gonna be like, no. Not old. Our former Real Houses of Orange County members coming back, like Tamra. So what did you think of the new additions and Tamra coming back?
Honestly, I think both are great. I've kind of always been team Tamra, honestly.
I love Tamra as a housewife. I think she delivers.
She really does.
Yeah.
She brings that thing and she brings it hard, and she certainly brought it this season, and I also love Tamra because Tamra can get a little unruly and a little crazy, and you could be like, okay, now you've crossed the line with me. I'm going to back you up, past that line. I'm going to push you back past that line. But then she just gets over it. She doesn't like hold grudges. And she's just like, okay, I get it. I've crossed the line. I'm sorry. And then we all move on, right. I like that about her. We have a good rapport and I think a good relationship. We always have. We have like respect for each other. And I think we understand each other. And I've always been cool with Tamra. She's always been supportive of me and she makes it easier,
Yeah. What about Shannon? Where do you stand with Shannon?
It's so hard sometimes with Shannon. I mean, I've known Shannon for a long time, a really long time. But and some of the things that I'm watching Shannon and Tamra fight, and even though I think Tamra's delivery is rough, and
it was rough last week for sure on the phone.
I do think that there's some truth in there to what she's saying, and so it's so hard because Shannon's really good at pushing you to that place where then you're just like, and then you kind of look like the one who's wrong, but and the way that Tamra came at her kind of put her in this place where now she has to do that I'm sorry thing because she acted kind of she crossed the line, but there is some truth there. And so like sometimes it's a struggle for me too. I have respect for everybody that I'm on this show with. I really do, but I have boundaries, and Shannon crossed some boundaries with me this season, and tough because although I think we tried to work through them and we still do, I'm still a little upset, but I haven't seen it too, right? So it's like I'm kind of like in this place where until I see it and I see some of these things that I think you said or I heard or whatever, I don't really 100% know how I fully feel.
Got it. You guys get it like a week before, right? So you'll see
like shortly before. Yeah.
Okay.
Waiting just like everybody else for some of this stuff now. Yeah.
That makes sense. So can we talk about the Ozempic of it all? Fans were like, Gina looks so good. Honestly, I want people to say this. I want people to think I look so good that I have to have been on Ozempic. But you were so real. You videoed yourself on the scale, which I loved. Tell me why you did that and why you were like just done with these Ozempic claims.
Well, you know why? Because I'm not on Ozempic. And I'm not judging anybody who is. Listen, if you want to put a needle in your body every week and feel like crap all the time, you deserve to be skinny. But I'm not a queen. You know what I mean? And I don't want to feel crappy. And I stopped drinking a year and a half ago. And if you really look at my track, my weight loss is progressive, gradual. It is not boom, you know? And it was just lifestyle change for me, and it was de-stress, and it was coming out of COVID like everybody else. I'm a normal human, and I'm also a very normal. Since the season ended, I've actually gained weight because, you know, you're running around a lot and everything, so I've gained, and I go up and down, and I'm normal and I'm healthy, and I don't think there's anything wrong with being on Ozempic. I just think that it's sort of important to be transparent, especially when you have a platform, because I don't want to put a message out there like, I just, you know, work out and eat vegetables all day, and this is how I look like this, or the opposite. You know, it just, my life is what it is. I don't work out enough. I certainly don't drink enough water, but I also don't drink alcohol. I try
That does it. For people that like thought you were on Ozempic, it does it. Like when you quit the alcohol, when you even the booze once or twice a week, it clears you up. It makes you look great.
Yeah, and you like all the water weight, like your face, like you just look better and
Yeah.
healthier. And that's really truly what it is. And also, like, I'm proud of that. So I don't want, you know, why don't take that from me? You know, I made a healthy lifestyle change, and I was rewarded physically for that. And that's what it is, you know? So I'm just sharing my truth, you know?
Yep. I hear you. Okay, tease the rest of the season for us. What do you guys go on any trips or anything like that? Does Heather offer up the jet?
I did not fly private. Actually, I will tease this. That is a big issue that comes up.
Oh, shoot. I think I remember seeing this. Like someone didn't come because they wanted to fly private or they came late or something, right? It's like,
some people fly private, yes,
okay.
and others do not. So this continues to be like a theme. We go on 2 trips. I think they were really fun and amazing, and it was cool. It was a really great season. Like I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. It felt right.
Yeah.
Nothing else. I keep saying this, but it is so true. The last few years, I understand maybe the casting is a little, you know, but if nothing else, now with everybody back, all the women have history. We've known each other for 6+ years, because Emily and I are still, even though we keep going and people go on and off, we still somehow are, you know, the least veteran.
Yeah.
And yet now Jen, and yet, you know, so we've been on for five seasons, 6 years. So we've known each other,
Right.
which we have a lot of relationship. We have a lot of history. We genuinely know each other. We genuinely have friendships and connections, and that makes for genuine entertainment and drama, you know? So
Totally.
yeah.
Well, I hope everyone listens to the podcast. The reason we love you on the show is because you're the realest of the housewives and you're honest. So I know that on the podcast, we'll be getting the same Gina that kind of offers that realness, relatability that we all look for.
Yeah, I really hope you love it. It's Orange Country. We're releasing new episodes every Wednesday, which is fitting because also Housewives is Wednesday. So you get as much Gina as you want.
As much Gina, I love it. A New Yorker in the OC giving us a little bit of both.
That's right. Yeah, just keep swinging, right?
So let's talk about this new podcast, this new venture of yours with Shane. How do you and Shane know each other? Because when I first read it, I was like, this felt random to me, the pairing.
It is random. I know it's definitely random. I know it doesn't really make sense upon initial, you know, put it like appearance or whatever. It's very weird.
Yeah.
Honestly, for me, this is how the best stuff always happens to me. It's like with Housewives, that happened to me because I just kind of like float along and put my energy out there, and you bump into people and you make connections. And it all started really because my kids wanted to go to a Walker Hayes concert, and I didn't know anything about Walker.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
We went to this concert and we hit it off with Walker and his wife because they have 6 kids. We have 6 kids. We were instant friends. And I ended up, you know, just meeting some of the people in his world. taking on a manager, and she connected. So Shane actually owns Smack, which is the company that, you know, he's a record label company, but also like a management company. And so we just, when we met, it was like an instant connection, and it was really cool because we're so different,
Right.
but we have like some of our foundation is still the same. And it's sort of cool to see that people can be like from completely different walks of life, but like still have a lot of commonalities.
Right.
And we find each other interesting. And then Marissa, my manager, was like, we were just talking. And she's like, we have to just put a camera on you guys because like your conversations are interesting. And I was like, okay. And the podcast was born out of that organically and authentically. So it, at first I was like, what is this? I don't even, and then I was
Right.
like, we have to figure that out. We just put it out there and we're getting good response from it. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
So obviously the podcast space, there's so many podcasts. What do you think it is about yours that people should tune in for? Like what makes it special?
Well, first of all, I think it is more positive. And I have, you know, I love the drama and everything that I'm a part of. You know, I'm not going to pretend like I don't. I love it all, you know,
Yeah.
but it is nice and a little bit refreshing for me for this to be sort of a more pure positive lane. And it's really just about like, it's about two people from very different walks of life that have some, you know, we all have things that ground us and connect us. And we're just kind of like exploring that, walking through that and seeing where it goes, having like just conversations with interesting people. And then we're, you know, obviously we're taking on some guests here and there, but it's really just about, you know, like identifying and talking about things that maybe happen to everybody, but seeing it from different perspectives. And it's interesting and unique.
Yeah, I love that. I love Shane too. So I'm so excited to dig into it and listen to it. I'm a big podcast girl. So this is really cool.
I'm really excited. Like I want your genuine feedback. I'm
Okay.
excited.
Okay.
Yeah, watch it. Yeah.
Great. Great.